several pre-budget announcements the Trudeau government has unveiled before the budget is tabled next week. His political opponents are not necessarily on board for what the federal government has planned. And for more on that, let's bring in CB24's Jamie Goodfoy. Jamie.
Well, thank you very much, Lena. Right now, I want to bring in federal Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre to talk a little bit more about these pre-budget announcements. Thank you so much for joining us, Mr. Poilievre. I want to start with, obviously, the newest information today about the federal government set to release their defense policy announcement today. I want to get your reaction to what you're anticipating, but also the fact that you said you would work towards meeting NATO spending targets. Tell us a little bit about what you would do, and do you think that the federal government is going to hold up their end of the bargain and meet those NATO targets that other countries are asking for?
Well, I hope they work towards it. After 8 years of Trudeau, our military is reeling. We have military members who are forced to couch surf and eat at food banks because of the cost of food that his carbon tax has driven up. We also have botched procurements of equipment that have cost billions of dollars to taxpayers without delivering for our troops. So my common sense plan would cut back on foreign aid to pull away from money from dictators, terrorists, and multinational bureaucracies, cut back on botched procurement and back office bureaucracy, and put that money into frontline equipment and benefits for our soldiers. I want to expand the reserves and ensure that our reservists are able to take their military skills and apply them in the civilian economy so that we get a win-win for our security and our economic strength.
In the past, you said you would work towards meeting those NATO spending targets. With the notion that you would meet those targets, how long would it take for a Conservative government to balance the budget?
Well, we have to find out how bad the mess is before we can tell you how quickly we'll clean it up. We know Trudeau has doubled the national debt, adding more debt than all prior prime ministers combined. This has driven up inflation and interest rates. That's why I'm demanding that we fix the budget. That is to say, one, let's axe the carbon tax, the Trudeau tax on farmers to bring down food prices. Two, let's build the homes, not the bureaucracy, by requiring cities permit 15% more home building as a condition of getting federal funds. And three, that we cap spending with a dollar-for-dollar law that requires the politicians find $1 savings for every new dollar of spending so that we can bring down deficits, interest rates, and inflation.
On the housing front, which is clearly one of the most pressing issues for Canadians right across the country, the Prime Minister and other officials have been making a series of these pre-budget announcements, especially here in Toronto. Even just last week, $15 billion more for apartment construction loans program. But there are a lot of benchmarks and there's a lot of conditions that the federal government is attaching to these. And these are conditions that even Premier Doug Ford said he wouldn't accept this money given these conditions. What is your take on that? What would you do differently? And also, would you work around the premiers and go directly to the municipalities like the Prime Minister is saying he would do?
Well, but before I begin with my policy, let's point out the obvious. Trudeau's been in power for 8 years, and he's been making announcements like that since 2015. What are the results? He's doubled housing costs. The proof is in the pudding. After 8 years of Trudeau, rent costs double, mortgage payments cost double, the needed down payment for a home double. That's Trudeau's 8-year record. So creating more federal government bureaucracies is not going to change that. What I would do is pay for results. I would require cities permit 15% more housing completions per year as a condition of getting federal funding. There's 1,000 ways they can do that. They could lower development charges, speed up permits, increase the efficiency of their planning departments, invest in sewers and roads that get infrastructure built, build high rises next to transit stations, sell municipal land. The list goes on and on. My job is not to micromanage them. My job is to pay them for the results. When you hire a realtor, you don't tell them that you're going to plan their daily schedule so that they sell your home. You just pay them a commission when they sell the home. Same with the builder. You don't micromanage how he builds your home. You simply pay him when the house is built. That's what I want to do for the cities. Let's pay them for the results. And that way they'll have a financial incentive to speed up and lower the cost of permits and free up land to build. Common sense.
Mr. Poilievre, that's all the time we have for now, but we appreciate you coming on CB24. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
And just a heads up, the budget will be delivered, Lena, on April 16th. Back to you for now.
All right, Jamie, thanks so much.